What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk Killer Army. And the Killer Army, for what people mostly don't know, was one of the best branch offs of Wu-Tang that we had, with lyrical MCs that could really give it to you. You know, these were the guys that you talk about on the corner for the younger dudes who was Wu-Tang might be a little too old for them. This was their guys. I mean, my cousin went to the radio station and held them hostage until they gave him a copy of the track they played on the radio from Killer Army. That's how serious it was back in the day. And you know, you got Killer Sin, Ninth Prince. I mean, it's a lot of guys in the group. PR Terrorist, John Pacino. Who else they had? Beretta 9. It's a lot of them. And anyway, they first CD come out, and you know, it turned a lot of heads. It was dope. And you know, rave reviews. Killer Army is on the scene. So when Killer Army came out, RZA did some of the productions, and then they had like, I think Mathematics did a lot of these tracks, and it took off. You know, they had a good hit, a good vibe. RZA liked everything they were doing, and he was basically saying, you know, like, you guys are set. So what he was going to do was something entirely different, and say, okay, well, since you guys are set, you know, we're going to start going with the second CD. And they thought they was going to be big mega stars. When you got all those people there, even if you sold gold or 500,000 copies or even close to it, it's not going to be enough for everybody in the group. And you know, some guys are thinking unity, like, this is my unit, this is my family. And everybody else is thinking, I'm family, but if somebody offer me another check to do something else, I'm going to slide. And Ninth Prince was always that guy. So RZA's working on his movie / album, Bobby Digital. So while he's working on that, there's a Cali MC that he found out of nowhere and just brought him on the scene. And he wanted to feature him with the Killer Army, named Holocaust. And the thing was, Islord went to jail. Islord kept going to jail. That's what he did, you know. So they had some spots open if he wanted to get on some tracks, because Islord, he did a couple of lines, but then he was gone. So Holocaust came in and finished the album. And he came in on 2 tracks because he didn't want to be a part of Killer Army. Holocaust was his own rapper and his own team, and Ninth Prince was offended by him being there and being on the tracks. Like, Ninth is like, I could drop 2 verses. Like, I'm going to eat this dude. I'm going to come in there. It was so bad that once he dropped the verse from Doomsday and Holocaust dropped the verse from the Bastard Swordsman, you could see why the RZA even brought this guy around. He was light years above the rest of them. One verse off the Bastard Swordsman was the best verse on the entire album. At the end of that performance, everybody who had Dirty Weaponry album talked about nobody but Holocaust. And that is from a hip hop perspective. Anybody who had this ain't nobody mainstream. If you follow Killarmy and you had that and you followed their albums, if you had Dirty Weaponry, the only thing you talked about, who was Holocaust, where did he come from? Because he was like, Holocaust. People grabbed the CD, flipped it over, started reading the credits. Who is this Holocaust? This dude killing it. 2 verses. Doomsday. Killed it. And the thing is it wasn't like everybody else sucked. His verse was just that good that it put everybody else in a panic to come up with something. And Ninth is reaching. You can tell when a rapper's reaching. Ninth Prince is reaching. And Sin didn't want to work with him. Killer Sin was in his own vibe, his own world. And it's weird. And then once it was over, Holocaust was working with RZA, then he ended up going back to the West Coast to do his thing because he realized, well, this ain't finna jump for me. All these other guys, he got all these stars to look out for. He ain't really doing nothing for me. But he was on the Bobby Digital album, and he killed Bobby Digital album. On the song Bobby Digital, Holocaust killed that. So, I could understand them not wanting him back on the 3rd album they did, which was the last studio album they made, which was awesome, which every Killarmy album was, but no Holocaust. He wasn't back. They ain't bring him back, so hey, I'm telling you, if he was in Killarmy, telling you, anybody got any stuff with Holocaust, you got yourself some music, buddy. Because I'm going to do a top 5 of the hip-hop unknown, and I'm telling you right now, he's in the top 5. And shoot, when he got there, it wasn't just Holocaust. Other things caused the breakup inside of Killarmy too, because each one of these guys didn't have basically a team concept. It's like 2 guys, they gel together, and the other guys, we work with them, we cool, and they supposed to be a group, but nobody's really group. Everybody's really like, I gotta look out for me. And Ninth is he was just the most shiestiest out of all of them, because he was doing all kind of stuff, man. He was trying to use the Killarmy name to get a record deal somewhere else. All the stuff they recorded that didn't get released, they tried to sneak it on another deal. He was doing all kind of stuff, man. It just so he could use the Killarmy name and build his brand, be Ninth Prince featuring so and so from Killarmy, and he's coming out with his own joints, and he trying to do shows at the thing, and he trying to use the Killarmy. It was just low down. He shorted a couple of guys some money. He switched up on them and made it look like they were gonna have the whole Killarmy, but he only had he did the Ninth Prince show and featuring Killarmy, and then he'll pay I think he paid 2 other dudes that wasn't really Killarmy that was there, and I think he talked to Beretta and them to show up, and he paid them a little something out of the money. When you shiesty and trying to short your own people that you deal with, trying to scam to get money off them, it's like, these your guys. How you gonna short them? where's your love? Where's your loyalty? And Sin, you know, he was doing his shystiness too. It wasn't just Nine. I mean, Sin already had a different thing on a different boat anyway, because his relationship with RZA and all of them, when they put them in GP Wu, they liked him, and you know, they would bring him along and want to put him on bigger songs. But Fourth Disciple was like really plugged with the Wu to the point where he was producing. So he was getting paid. Fourth is paid. You know, I mean, not like super rich, but he's paid. You know, he's getting his money. So, at the end of the day, they together, but they not together. You probably will never see another Killarmy album together again, because nobody's going to pay the money that everybody will be happy with. And nobody knows how to come together to make something better for all of them. Nobody can do that. They can't get all heads to agree on it. So you'll never see, in my estimation, you'll probably never see another Killarmy album again. But they should go reach out to Holocaust, man. And shout out to Doc Doom too from Black Knights. That was also with him, and they was on the Bobby Digital song Silkworm. Bobby Digital. Listen to that verse with Holocaust and Doc Doom. Doc Doom got shot over in Compton back in, I think, 07. He had just got out the joint. He was finna work on a couple of songs right now. And I think Fourth Disciple right now is working on Method Man's album too, called The Meth Lab. That's coming out next. And the Wu-Tang album was supposed to do exactly what the Killarmy should learn from, is mirror that. You want to be like Wu, mirror what they did. They came back together. Of course, they had conflict, but they came back together to relaunch their own individual careers. As Meth finna come out with the Meth Lab and then see what he wants to do, or if he's going to do something at all, you know. But that's how you get the money. I'm out.